Just friends. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Like, you never saw him as something, but I'm like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was something? Or
no, never. I did not sign up for that. I also always thought, like, I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like, he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like, I thought I was going to be like the girl out there getting it.
Hi, and welcome to another one. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Steph Curry situation, and I'm going to put like a perspective out there that I have not heard anyone talk about what's really going on in this thing. So I'm going to play this clip real quick and then let you know my thoughts.
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be a career girl, and that's it.
Saying like you never saw him as something, but like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was something?
No, never. He tried to resonate with me, but he just can't.
If you don't know, this is her on some type of, I think Tia Mowry's on that show, of course. And this guy without a shirt comes on the stage and she's like trying to take off her wedding ring, which is like weird. That's a whole nother thing about wedding rings that I'll bring up after this video that I learned that's kind of like creepy.
My husband really loves my feet. And so, like, the light was hitting him just right that day. And so I was like, oh, you're going to snap this photo. I was going to picture my feet. So I think, like, when he says to send nudes, like, that's when he's getting a picture of my feet. Something that really bothers me and, like, honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like, there are all these women, like, throwing themselves. But me, like, the past 10 years, like, I don't have any of that. Like, I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention.
So those are just different clips of Aisha Curry essentially openly embarrassing her husband. It says Steph Curry's wife is disrespectful. I know why he hasn't won a championship again. Steph, bro, leave this girl immediately, dog. Okay, so I know about him not winning another championship. I don't really follow basketball. A Bible verse, God's word immediately comes up to mind is, you know, it is better to be on the top of the side of a house than to be with a contentious woman. Let me look it up. Better to dwell in a corner of a housetop. That's what I was thinking. Than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Okay, there's another verse where it's better to be in the wilderness than to be laid up with a contentious woman, and that's for a reason. It ruins you, and it goes for women as well with men. Perfect example. I've had a terrible toxic relationship. I'm not going to say that I was perfect for over a decade on and off, and it didn't do anything good for me. It drained me physically, mentally, emotionally. Thank God that he preserved me through it all. But there's some damage that I got to deal with. And that's because, you know, who you lay down with can determine your happiness in life. Okay. Now there is a couple points I just want to go over real quick. First and foremost, I hear a lot of people say, poor Steph Curry, you're all Steph Curry. Yeah, he's not talking about it. He's not openly putting it out there, but we also want to apply the same energy that we do to the women out there. And if you think that I'm about to, I hate men and it's not, no. If you watch any of the videos on my channel, people could say I bash women, whatever, but I continually, through tough love, openly say the flaws of other women. Why? Because I'm a woman, okay? Because I've been through that, because I'm secretly talking to myself as well, because I know if you love somebody and you've been through something, you're gonna tell them what not to do, because I know what not to do. At the very least, I learned those lessons. So women take accountability. But when it comes to this situation where there's a man and then you have his wife that is going hard, okay, and airing it all out in public, you got to wonder, was there any red flags? And I guarantee you there was. Okay. There's an issue that I see with a lot of men out there is that you will, yes, I get it. You're a visual creature, but you will literally just go for a woman because of the way she looks instead of the full parameter of everything. I agree. Definitely. You should be attracted to the person that you want to be with at the very least, right? As far as when I'm talking about physically, because it's not fair to them for you to be so unattracted to them where you can't please them intimately or do the intimate things that is required of. In general, unfortunately, but this is the truth, humans treat people who are more attractive, people who they find more attractive, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, they treat them better generally. Okay, they generally have more of an enthusiastic way to them to treat them with respect, which is crazy, and it's something that you need to get out of, because you'll end up lining yourself up, which it looks like happened to Steph Curry. Okay, and I get it, beauty and handsomeness, that comes from the Most High, everything good. It's just that in this world where the opposition uses beauty and handsomeness against you, you really have to be careful and see a person for the fruits that they yield of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22-23 KJV, but the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. He's over there breaking ankles on the court, but little did we know that his ankles were getting broken hard in the love department, because if he chose this woman, he could choose anybody that he wants. First of all, and I'm going to say it, people are going to say whatever they want to say, but it's the truth based off of 400 years of slavery. He is light skinned. Yes, that matters. A lot of women are going to clamor off of that. A lot of women are going to give him the time of day. And like I said before, whoever you're more attracted to, give them more chances to mess up and stick around, right? Another thing, he's going on to be a basketball player, getting $1 million contracts. Women are going to be throwing themselves at this man. Women have a different sense of understanding when it comes to men. They're more disrespectful. There is a Bible verse that comes to mind, essentially stating, hey, out of 1,000 men, you'll find one good man. Out of 1,000 women, you find none. That is the truth. Out of my entire existence and awareness, I have dealt with some evil women. I've dealt with some women that have manipulated and used me, all for the sake of a man. So when people say, oh, women are clamoring off of, Steph Curry and she's not getting hit up, men typically are going to respect a woman who is married. Okay. They just don't want the smoke. They don't want the hassle, whatever it is. If you are a man, please let me know the full extent of that in the comments. But if I'm looking at it from your point of view, I would be thinking the same thing. Why would I try to wife up somebody who is already wifed? That is a problem. You probably already procreated with this person. You definitely slept with this person. I don't want to be mixed up in those germs. Those are just my thoughts. But women they don't care. A lot of them don't care. A lot of them. And, it's in our history of men. Look at Solomon having multiple wives, women being cool with it. Like it's just something that's is a woman thing. Okay. Women follow men. But anyway, there's another topic that I also touched on in the beginning. I said about wedding rings. I saw this video of this man. It was in Africa, talking about how he was, I don't know, he went to hell or he dreamed. I don't even know. And it was a real old school video. Said that he saw people getting their like the wedding finger ring that they put their rings on, the couples getting their fingers chopped off, and it regrows and chopped off again. I don't know what that's about. I did look it up, and there is some Egyptian root to the ceremony in the way that they do the ring thing, like it's some ring of Saturn or something like that. I'm not risking it. I feel like you can get married without all that extra stuff with approval from the Most High, but that's just my opinion, and I just felt led to say that. Next point is, no one's really talking about it, but I feel like, because a lot of people are saying that Steph Curry is being quiet about this, and I do personally admire that, and I see why he would be quiet. Like, at this point, what can he really say? Like, she's airing all of these things out. What's going on in the home? But even in basketball players, you're seeing basketball players wearing nails. You're seeing rappers who talk all this thug stuff. I'm gonna pull up and do this and spray that. pull up with purses at the game and stuff like that. So it really puts things in perspective. Like, is this a humiliation ritual? A lot of these celebrities, a lot of these different organizations that's in any, or the, like, for example, Freemasons and these colleges that really are satanic in general and our rituals. There was a video I saw on Instagram. I definitely have to do a video on that. I gotta locate the video if it's still up, but essentially talking about how these sororities are demonic, and they are in fact you pledging allegiance to some type of demonic entity, which all inclusively leads back to Satan, right? They do these hazing and demonic rituals, okay? And the college in general, really, that's why I want to find that video. They do these rituals because that's what witches and warlocks do. Satan hates us. So it makes sense. I'm not going to dive too deeply into it, because for me, being, from eyes of discernment, from the spiritual journey that I've been on, people could say it's arrogance, but it's just it's the truth of what I've gone through, and what God is allowing me to feel and see. He hates us. Somebody who's jealous of you and hates you wants to see you looking stupid, wants to see you looking like an idiot, wants to see you in your lowest form, wants to make sure that you aren't outshining them. So of course they're going to do these rituals and they're going to do these things. So I'm wondering if this whole Steph Curry thing is just another example of a Black family where the woman is the man, is the lead, can embarrass and belittle and bring down the Black man. And it really stems back to slavery as well. They showed us everything. They try to hide it, but the truth is coming out. Buck breaking is another example. You'll have our own people try to say detach Esau from ever doing that, saying that there was no evidence of this, when you weren't shooting in the gym with these slave owners. Okay, like what did you really know and see? You wasn't there or have any recollection of it. So why is it so far-fetched that, if there's no evidence, it didn't happen? No, it happened. They would grape the men in front of the women. So the women, you're traumatized, but you're also not going to look at your man the same way. It's just the truth. So look at what they're doing now. This is just a different mental mind game of humiliating the Black man, in my opinion. Okay. And that's all I really had to say about this video. If you feel like more people, more eyes, more ears should hear about this situation, okay, that God has put on me to do, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. I also have a book out, Melanated and Expecting. We are in a nutty time right now, and there are a lot of things set up to attack your newer generations. And being a mother is the most selfless thing that you could do. You're literally bringing into a new person into this world, okay? Or if you're a father out there, there's so many things that I learned about birth certificates, about epidurals, things that I regret doing before, during, and after becoming a mother, that if I had known, I would have avoided so many mistakes. It could have been worse. God truly protected and blessed us, but there are things that I'm dealing with and regrets that I'm dealing with that I have to take accountability for. Okay. So if you do want to show your support and get edified in that way, you could show your love to the link that's either in the bio or the top pinned comment. Okay. But with all that being said, seek the Most High, more importantly, okay? Create that relationship with Him. That is the only thing that is going to save you. That is the only one, that is going to save you from this whole situation. He knows your heart. He knows why you seeking Him out. So don't think that you can fool Him. But at the end of the day, with all that being said, stay sober-minded on the spiritual streets. Peace.